Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my channel. Let's face it, gambling is a big financial problem. It is something that is gripping especially our young adults, and they are becoming poorer and poorer and poorer despite having a little bit more money than their parents in the past. Why is this a problem? Of course, the first and the initial issue is the diversion of funds that may be going towards investments that are taking into gambling. In fact, some of them have justified gambling as a riskier form of investment that has a potentially higher rate of return. But when an investment has a clause where you may lose all your capital and you may gain a lot more in the future, then that is not an investment, because an investment at least has some level of assurance that you will not lose your capital. You may not earn much, but losing your capital as a surety 50% of the time, or even 100 or more than the 90% of the time, is just a stupid move. Call it entertainment. It actually suits it more than calling it an investment. So all the finances that could be going towards your saving and investments go down the drain in the hole of gambling and betting. Of course, the other thing is an increase in appetite of risky investments. When you start gambling, you open up a rabbit hole that will be able to take you down the path of extremely risky investments. Extremely risky investments that do not have a head or tail. They do not even have a way that you can be able to recover your money, and they may not even have a legal backing in case you need to be able to seek legal redress. And because you have opened this rabbit hole of extremely risky living and risky lifestyle of betting and gambling, you have now opened a door, and these other investments may actually be a lot more toned down, and you might actually push your money towards these risky investments to be able to recapture the money you have lost through gambling. So when you open up this portal of extremely high risk investments, then you also risk losing all your money in one swipe during these bad investments. So ensure that your risk appetite is a little bit in check. Don't be too conservative, but then again, don't be too risk ready. So ensure that you do not engage in these vices, because they will open up the portal for you desiring a lot more risky investments that may actually make you lose all your money. Of course, the other thing is a bad credit rating. Most of the gamblers take the money that they have and gamble, and they actually borrow and take loans to put again in these gambling habits, and they end up in a cycle where they are getting into more debt and more debt to be able to finance this incredibly risky lifestyle. So bad credit rating will result when you're constantly involved in gambling and betting. Of course, the other thing is bad debt accumulation. As regards to credit rating, as regards to bad debt, it is because if you have a bad credit rating, then you are forced to go to the class 3 level of credit finances, level of credit, where you are charged a lot more in interest because you are a much riskier person to lend to. And this bad debt, credit cards and Shylocks and all these things are putting you in an even bigger hole. Some of these things charge as high as 72%, as high as 300% per year on the money that you have actually borrowed. And you are borrowing money to take again into a venture that is again high risk. You are digging a hole that coming out may actually be a lot more harder. So ensure that you do not enter into this. Then the other thing is, of course, the loss of employment. Yes, there are people who will lose their jobs when they are involved in gambling. A case in point, if you are a financial manager, or if you handle finances of clients in trust for these clients, then you may actually lose your job because you can no longer be trusted because of your risky behavior to handle this cash. Actually, most blue chip companies look into the financial background or the personal financial behavior of people before they hire them into high offices in the financial field. Why? Because you do not want a gambler to come and gamble with clients' monies, to come and gamble with the financial future of these companies. So you may actually lose employment opportunities. Some of this may actually when you get into debt and you start getting pursued by debt collectors, and this news gets to your employer, then they might actually fire you because of the sensitivity of this information and how it may actually affect their reputation out there in public, because some of these organizations are actually a bit sensitive as regards to gambling and all the negativity associated with this, and they may not want their employers to be involved in these vices. Of course, the other thing is the unsocial behavior. You become a lot more secluded as you engage into this behavior, and you may not have people who are doing it with you, and because you might be surrounded with people who have a negative attitude toward it and who are discouraging you from it, you withdraw from your normal social circles into a person who is no longer speaking to people, into a person who is no longer interested in life and interested in people, and it creates socially maladjusted people in the population. People who may wake up and commit suicide without anyone actually foreseeably being able to see it happen. So maladjusted individuals who may be actually a lot more toxic to any organization and any functioning society. So gambling is one of the biggest things that is going to take you out in your finances, and it is a big thing, especially in Africa, as more and more betting companies come to be able to sell hope. Because remember, again, gambling companies sell hope. They hope that you may become a millionaire. They hope that you may change your financial fortunes. They sell hope, but at an extremely high cost. I hope that you are learning, you are growing, and you're becoming better in your finances. If you see somebody who is entering into this habit, please remember to discourage them, because it's the biggest financial suicide to any individual. Remember to subscribe to the channel, to leave a comment down below on the ways that individuals can be able to avoid these gambling habits. Remember to subscribe to the channel and to have a lovely